Hello and welcome to Str8 NoCh8ser. This is Joe Sue reporting. Today we had a chance to catch up with Miss Melissa Willis and her running group.
And when we first started, it started just from a text message from Elaine. It started in her brain as an idea. She sent a text message to a few of us and we all thought she was kind of crazy.
I am with Latinas in Motion Incorporated, and we have created a virtual community throughout the country where women encourage each other, inspire each other, primarily through walking and running, but it has spiraled into crossfitting together, Zumba together, spinning together. And
our mission is so strong to encourage women of all cultures really to get active, but the camaraderie is what pushes people to actually get it done. Myself, like, there might be days where I don't feel like running, I don't feel like exercising, but we've built a social community, a social network family, and so you can check on social media and see that, you know, one of your Latinas in Motion is out exercising and it encourages you to get up and move. So, you know, and even when you think you can't do it, somebody else is there encouraging you.
Located here in Philadelphia, Latinas in Motion was organized to inspire, encourage, and empower women of all colors to run.
Latinas have a really high rate of obesity, heart disease, and diabetes. And so what we did was created an organization that tackles those statistics by moving, and we also talk about nutrition, how important nutrition is as well.
2012, when we began, the purpose was to really get women moving. Latinas specifically have a really higher rate of obesity and other diseases that come as a result of not taking action with your health or getting fit or just being in motion. So that coincides with the purpose of the 5K.
Combining fun and fitness, these running fanatics are trying to create a culture of health and wellness within the Latino community, like having 5K runs here at the hospital.
So we actually have 8 volunteers out on the trail today helping encourage people to finish this race.
Once you exercise or even go for a walk, you're getting in oxygen, you're taking in the sights, you're a part of nature, and that energy feeds right back to you.
For more information on Latinas in Motion, take a look at the bottom of your screen. This is Joe Sue for Str8 NoCh8ser.
Welcome to Hennessy Listed. I'm your host, Endangered, and I have a beautiful special guest host,
Gigi.
So Gigi.
Murayoshi.
I mess up every time I try to get that, but I'm doing better at it. What brings you beautiful ladies out here to Hennessy Listed?
Well, we received a personal invite, and I was coming from the Philadelphia Burlesque Festival, and I was like, I have to go to this event because I'd never been to 1925, but I heard so many great things, and we're lovers of Hennessy, so the two just go together.
What Scott is doing in Philly, what is your take on what he's doing in Philly?
It's a beautiful thing because, you know, his sole purpose is to bring millennials together. You know, black people who are doing well with their lives and they're doing well with their business, and he brings them together in the social aspect to celebrate, and it's a great thing.
Having a great time. We're just gonna walk around and look around and see people and see what's going on. There's a lot happening. We got so many people here, so many great millennials, people doing phenomenal things.
Very much so. We're looking forward to seeing everybody tonight.
Just better, arts and beats, just better. Str8 NoCh8ser. Str8 NoCh8ser. Listen, are y'all the best? What brings you out tonight?
Honestly, I'm here to support Tyrone and the whole Hennessy movement. I love what he's doing in the city, and I think it's awesome. I just want to support it, you know?
Apparently, I'm doing very well in the championship. I'd like to give a shout out to all my fans, him especially. Shout out to all the fedoras. And that's it.
How important is it for Hennessy, Moet Hennessy, to branch out to other markets such as Philadelphia?
Well, it's extremely important because it allows us to engage those consumers that really live what it means to be Hennessy, the essence of Hennessy, which is all about never stop, never settle.
Of course.
Celebrating people who continually push the limits of their potential, celebrate life, and also are looking for quality products, which Hennessy is one of them.
And never stop.
Never settle.
Never stop.
Never settle. Ever.
Hennessy. Never stop. Hennessy. Never stop.
Never settle.
This is Endangered with Manny Gonzalez. Never stop.
Never settle.
Have a great night.
Good evening, family, and welcome to another episode of Str8 NoCh8ser. I'm your blog tender, Marquise Lupton. Family, tonight I want to talk about the fall of the man. I mean, whatever happened to the man's man?
Yo, Joe! We'll fight for freedom wherever there's trouble. G.I. Joe is there. G.I. Joe, American hero.
Whatever happened to men wanting to be the man?
Messing with my car. Penny ante junkies, that's all you are. You'll take from your mama, you'll even take the limbs off of a tree. But I'm gonna kick your ass for messing with me.
America, where are your balls?
Marvelous! You have no marvelous!
Like someone slipped something into America's drink, and now we're being Cosby'd by the world. Nowadays, we get offended by the simplest things.
Greg, have you gotten under his skin?
Yeah, he bashes FNC more than ISIS, and we don't behead anybody. But you know, the bigger point here is if there's anybody in the media that likes the fact that it's not them that he's angry at, you shouldn't be, because that means you're a wuss. You're a pliant servant in his harem. The only reason why he's coming after Fox News is we're the only network that actually tries to challenge him.
Someone actually wrote that line, so they were thinking back in wherever they put these speeches together.
I would have died.
Like
I would have died. If I would have ever had a draft speech sent to me that I had for review for the president where it took a shot at MSNBC, I think I would have been on the ceiling. The thing is, here's the thing. The president never would have said it. President Bush never would.
Some blame Obama for our serial pansyism. But I think Obama's seen this on the horizon. Look no further than his campaign during his first term.
Whether his policies and positions represent long-held convictions or Washington calculations. But the one thing they don't represent is change. Change is ending a war that we never should have started. Change is finishing a war against Al-Qaeda in Afghanistan that we never should have ignored.
And change is coming. I mean, Bruce Jenner is no longer a man.
Excuse me, aren't you Bruce Jenner?
Side note, family, what the heck is up with those Kardashians? It seems like once you go Kardashian, you lose something special. Lamar Odom lost his job, Kanye lost his mind, and Bruce, well, lost his balls. But back to the point at hand. I blame athletes and these new age rappers. We went from our athletes being dressed like this to being dressed like this. Who do these kids have to look up to when their hip-hop idols say this?
He wants to know what you mean when you call your homies your baby or your hubby, your lover. Can you just set the record straight?
It's a language. There's nothing stupid or fruity going on. It's the way we talk. It's the way we live. Those are my babes, no my lovers, no my hubbies, whatever you want to call it.
Wait. What? Fellas, we gotta do something, because some ladies are becoming manlier than us.
There you go, baby. Now! Get him up. Don't really fight her.
Oh, big right hand! One punch! That is it! Forget about the
I'm Marquise Lupton, and that's Straight No Chaser.
The Mix at Arbor Place is a youth development center in which kids do all types of activities ranging from archery to bowling to volleyball, homework help, STEM activities. We pride ourselves in having intentional programming. What that means is the kids actually follow a schedule, 45-minute schedules, pretty much like school, but we try to make every class really exciting for them.
Hello and welcome back to Str8 NoCh8ser. I'm sitting here next to Ryan Russell and Sean Hearn. Fellas, thank you for coming in today.
Thank you for having me.
So, first things first. So, as a black man in America, with the happenings in Ferguson, South Carolina, and even in Baltimore, how do you guys feel about race relations today in this world as a black man? I'll start with you, Sean.
Personally, I feel as though it's just things have been brought to the forefront more. These things have been happening for a long time, going back to when I was younger. It's just now that we have the access to cameras and cell phones. Now we start to see it more often. I don't think it's done too much for race relations, but I think it has brought it to the forefront. Now what we do with it, that's where the problem comes in.
All right, Ron?
And I would have to agree with Sean. Like you said, these things aren't new to us in the black community. These aren't things that we didn't know were happening. Now people outside of this community are being exposed to, these tragedies and these injustices and the inequalities that have been happening for years and years and years, going back to, our parents and things like that. It's just, it hasn't helped the relations, even though, the people, like I said, other communities have been able to view these instances. Until someone does something about it, it's not going to change. So them being aware of it now, having, say, white people be aware of the things that are happening in the black community and to the black community, until we all step up together, it's not going to, the relations aren't going to change.
Yeah.
Hold on. How do you?
Oh, it's just the.
On the back. All right.
Yeah, and then just.
All right. All right. So did it get better or worse under the Obama administration?
I didn't see much change. I think the only thing that I can think that changed was the perception within the black community of being black. It's now, I think, having a black president allows you to feel, I guess, a little prouder to be black. It gives you a little more stance in being black just naturally. You just feel a little bit better about yourself, I guess I could say. I don't know if the administration itself with any of the laws or anything have really progressed us forward. But like I said, I just think it's just within ourselves, in our community, a step forward in appreciating ourselves and hopefully being able to better ourselves.
See, I would have to agree to him to a certain extent. Now, I see it has brought everyone together, but I think that it made the black community feel more entitled. You have a black president now. You feel a lot more entitled to things that you couldn't do before, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, but the way that some of the youth now or some of the people are just taking advantage of that, I would probably say that things may have gotten worse under Obama as far as the sense of the direction that the black community is going in. It was a celebration when he came in office, and again that entitlement came in, and that's where I think our direction headed a completely different way.
All right, so Ryan, do you feel as though you're a target of scrutiny from other black couples because you're married to a white woman?
I would say in some ways, yes. I do. We get looks sometimes where our kids are obviously biracial, so like we get, if I'm not with their mom, I get looks like, why is he with these kids with their straight hair and things like that. But I don't know. I don't really let that bother me. But yes, to answer your question, yes, I do feel that there's, when we walk in an area or we're somewhere where there are, a large amount of black people, sometimes it does. You can feel the stares and you feel like it's slightly uncomfortable, but you don't let it bother you, it ain't gonna bother you.
So are you the kind that stare?
No, not at all. Growing up on a military base and going to Shippensburg University is you see diversity all the time. You see a lot of different cultures mixing together and positive coming out of it. So I wouldn't be classified as one of those people that are staring. So.
All right. So then how do you feel about the stares? Because I mean, we aren't in the 50s, 60s, 70s, or 80s.
Right.
I mean, we do have a biracial president. You would think that with so much progressive going on right now that people would be over that. How do you feel about the stares? Do you feel as though that's something that we really have to be over at this point?
I think so, and I think it's a big problem in our, in the black community, whereas we look at, let's say the majority, a high number of, families in the black community have no fathers. They have no, marriage isn't number one in the black community. So if you see a black man who's married a woman, regardless of what color she is, I feel as though that you should be proud of that man for taking that step to committing to something. Race has nothing to do with love and building a family. Mm-hmm. So to bring that point into it, to be simply upset because, this black man has married a white woman, you're doing the same thing that you hate white people doing to us for simply being black. Like, this white woman has done nothing to you. Right. So you being upset and giving me the side eye for it, to me it just doesn't make sense, and I feel bad that we, as a people who want equality so much, still have that mindset, still have that, your first reaction is to be kind of off-put by it.
So then where can we begin to really start stopping those looks?
Like everything, it begins at home. It's about not just exposing your children to certain things. It's about exposing them and letting them understand why certain things are the way they are. If you can start it at home, whatever you learn at home, you take out in the community. Your parenting skills, they're only at home. When your kids go outside, whatever parenting skills you brought to them, that's kind of what they're going with out there. So when you start at home, you can kind of really change not just your children, but you can change your children's friends and their friends, because it gets a mentality in them that you understand why somebody's doing something. They're not just seeing it and just not understanding why. They understand what's going on. So,
all right. So then in Philadelphia,
mm-hmm.
Since we're hitting on in the home,
mm-hmm.
what are some of the biggest issues that you face as a family man, as a black family man?
Me personally, as a black family man, one of the biggest obstacles I face is just perceptions. And by perceptions, I mean as if I go out I have 3 children. If I go out with them and I'm just out with them, people will see me and say, hey, he's a good dad because he's out with his kid. I could be a horrible dad. I'm just out with my kids. We've gotten to the point where now it's just being around is acceptable more than actually being a father. So perception is my biggest obstacle to get over. I try every day to raise my kids better than the way I was raised. And I wasn't raised horribly, and I wasn't mistreated or anything, but the world is changing, and I think that my kids need to know that the world is changing. They need to be able to evolve with it, or they're going to get left behind.
So some of your biggest issues that you face as a black man that lives in Abington.
Yeah, I would say, a lot of the things that Sean described are similar, regardless of where we are, the perception, and just the fact that, since I'm around, like you said, you're a great father. Like, these are my children. You're supposed to be.
You're supposed to be. That's the least.
Like, I hear people say, like, oh, you're babysitting. Like, I don't babysit my own kids. Like, I'm with my children. I'm fathering them. like I'm raising them. Like, I don't know what you mean. So, it's just, I think it's still a struggle when we go out. Like I said, when people look at us, just me and my children are out. I just want to eventually get to the point where I can explain to them and, like Sean said, help them understand why people look at us like that and why they aren't so accepting of it. And while I want them to recognize it, I don't want them to be angered by it. I want them to, like I said, recognize it and just move on. That's their problem. It's not your problem. Don't let someone else's ignorance, cloud who you are. Just be the greatest that you can be. I don't want, the perceptions of me to fall and, be the perceptions of my children.
And some people, there have even been recent articles about it, stating that in this day and age, black women that are millennials, they're tougher to love. So Sean, what do you say about those reports that say, well, nowadays, black women are tougher to love?
It's not black women, and it's not just that women in general are tougher to love. It's that women have evolved. When you look back and you watch, when we were younger and we would watch TV shows, women were in the house. Women did certain things. They had certain stereotypes placed, and women are out now. They have, in most cases, better jobs than their husbands have, or their significant other or whatever. But you have to deal with a woman that has a profession now, and some people can't handle that. Some people are stuck in their ways. Like I said, they think back to how we used to classify women here, and that's kind of the problem now is just the classification. So women, it's not tougher to love our women. It's just you have to have a better ability to know how to love and know how to accept someone's role.
Ryan, what are your views?
Women are evolving. Women are smart. Women are any woman, and black women, speaking, just with black women, they weren't always able to have, good jobs, have access to education. So now that their role is changing, the man has to change. There has to be a change in man. I think the reason it's so hard for them to be loved is because men are not truly men anymore. Men I think you said that earlier in the show, men have gone down in their role as being a man. They've accepted the fact that, okay, so if my woman does work, I'm not going, I don't need to work. I don't need to work as hard. And that's not an equal opportunity relationship. So it's not the woman's fault. It's, the man's fault. These men aren't doing what they need to do. And, women are strong. Women have something in them that we don't have. That resilience in a woman to get back up, keep fighting, and get what they want. These goal-oriented women are something to be praised and something to be admired. And that's the problem, is that they're not being.
Fellas, final question. 2015, State of the Black Man. We know how President Obama, he likes to have his State of the Union to tell us where the United States is right now. So how about 2015, the black man? Where do we stand right now?
The black man is in trouble, but he has opportunity. There's always been choices for the black man, but there's now more choices. He's got an opportunity to be great. The fact that you've had a black president should now not, even if you don't aspire to become president, you know now that you can go higher. Mm-hmm. You know that you can go higher than anybody in your family has ever gone. Anybody that you've ever known, you can do more. You can be better, and that's all you need is a goal. You need to have a mindset that you are able to achieve, and you will. Whether, your ceiling is, being a customer service worker, that you're achieved. You're doing something good for yourself. You're not out here, on the street, because that's your other choice. The black man has the options. The black man has choices. He just needs to be ready to accept what he can.
I had to say, Ryan hit it on the head perfectly. The opportunities are there. The black man a long time ago, there weren't too many options. Now we have the option of taking different career paths where we can be the CEO and the owner of our own companies now. That's more of an opportunity now than it was at any other time since I've been alive. It's just about capitalizing on those opportunities. You get a lot, like we said, a lot of people are going to college now. Just because they're going to college doesn't mean they're finishing college. They're just going because it's an opportunity that's open to them. I've been to college, and I've been on academic probation, and I know about climbing my way, but it's all about, you have to have that drive in you, and you have to understand that you going to school is something bigger than yourself. As a black person, not just a black man, as a black person, for you to go through school and finish it is an accomplishment for your race, for your culture, for your community. So it's just about capitalizing on opportunities and understanding that those opportunities are there, and you have to take advantage of them full throttle.
All right. Well, gentlemen, thank you for coming. I appreciate it.